Good morning. Today we will talk about balance and imbalance. Where does the imbalance in our lives come from? Interesting question indeed. First, to solve a problem, to solve any problem, you need to think about the origin of the problem. What caused the problem? And again, this is Lena opinion and my approach to life. I like to look at the source of the problem and solve the problem at the root, not at the top where the flowers and leaves are on the tree. Imbalance. Our audience, some of you, and this is judging from your emails, say that you have worked all your life, and now you look back and realize that most of the things you did was work and building up your career. Of course, we have 24 hours a day. You do, I do too. All of us do. What we do with our time is up to us. Usually people like to do what they're good at, what they feel confident doing, and what they know they can do. Especially with men. Women are a little bit less afraid to look stupid and try new things. They're not afraid to look silly, okay? Men try something and it works, and they do more and more and more of it. This is where work and career comes from. It gives them confidence, gives them respect of other people, gives them strength in being the man. Sometimes power, money, and so on. Everything that they need to feel good about themselves. And what happens if you dedicate a certain amount of time to something, then there's very little time to dedicate to something else. So the other area of life usually gets neglected. And it can be in any area of your life. If you have been spiritual and meditating your whole life, you have probably neglected your career. But this is our choices. I'm not saying that this way or that way is good or bad. This is our choice. What we want to achieve in life ultimately is balance, when we feel strong on all sides. And this happens in the body as well. The same dynamic, exactly the same. You feel confident about your arms. You start to do push-ups. You can do push-ups. You know how to do push-ups. It's easier to do push-ups. What do? You work on your arms most of the time. Why? Because it looks good and it gives you the feeling of seeing progress. It gives you satisfaction and you see results. Yet you're neglecting your ab muscles or the legs. Why? Because this is new. You're not really sure how to work on it. It's going to take longer to see results, and you're not so confident about doing something that is new in front of other people. So you create imbalance. Arms are stronger than legs, or arm muscles are more defined than the stomach muscles or the back muscles. Why? Because you don't really know any exercises for the back. This can happen. I'm not saying that this is necessarily true. Diversifying your energy, diversifying your time, and spending enough on every area is impossible. Why? Because we are human beings and we choose to do what we can do, what we feel confident doing, what we enjoy doing, and what we know. We don't have to try new things out every day. It's like, okay. Now, in most men, I noticed that the neglected area is not the career, is not the education, and is not building up the self-status, but is the personal area, the self-expression, the feelings coming out area, the area of your soul, communicating with the woman. Communicating with friends too is often a neglected area. How many men would say that I feel good when I open up to my male friends, when I tell them how I feel deep inside? And it's like, not many do this. Yeah, you might say that you're stressed from work, and that would be the whole story, and you can tell about the problem, but you wouldn't really go and ask them questions about how you could resolve the issue on the inside, how you could create the balance and where to look for it and so on. We go on the surface and not quite in depth. Yet in the career, oh well, and at work there is a lot of depth, there is a lot of development, there is a lot of confidence. What do we do to find the balance to our neglected area? we can work on it, we can spend more time on it, and then the career would suffer, of course, because you'd spend less time and less energy there. Or we can find somebody who is stronger in that area. Like, let's say Lena. And if I feel the weakness in the other person and I know it's my strength, this is ideal. Why? Because you're not competing. You're not saying, well, I do better at work. No, I do better at work. Well, I'm smarter. No, I'm smarter. This is silly, right? I learn and I admire what the person has achieved in their career. Yet I see that there is a lack of something, that maybe there wasn't enough time spent on opening up, communicating, understanding women, understanding the dynamic of relationships and so on. So I know how to fill the void. And often that is exactly what people call it, the void. There is something not there. There is the imbalance. This is it. This is the imbalance. And with time, the void grows larger, because you know it's there, and it creates imbalance in life, and you feel like you need to put something there. Yet what can you put there? Intuitively you don't really know. You feel maybe it's love, but I have a wife, or I have a husband. So what is that void? Where is that filling that can go in there? Is it drinking? Is it drugs? Is it a hobby? Maybe I'm bored. Maybe I need a lover. Maybe I don't know what you are trying to fill your void with. And I'm referring to all of you, and myself included. We all have a void. We can't do everything. We're not a robot. We can't dedicate 10% to this, 10% to that, 10% to that, and be balanced in all our life. There is that little something, the area, our weakness, that feels like a void. If it's not totally empty, it's half empty most of the time, where all the other areas are full and okay, and you know how to deal with them. This area is like, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to put there and where to find it. If you are attracted to a lady or a man, often it is that naturally, intuitively, you are trying to seek this filling for your void deep inside, and you can feel that the other person has that as their strength. Very well. How do you use it? Well, by interacting, by connecting to the person, by being open with them, and by telling them the truth. Yes, I have spent most years working. I really don't know how to love. Teach me how to love, because you're better at this. This is okay to say. It's okay to admit your weakness. It's okay to say that you have not spent as much time as the other person on developing certain areas in your life to be stronger in them. And the person will respond. They will respond automatically, because when you know it's your strength and you know that you can help another person, of course you will help. If you ask me about fasting, I'm gladly going to tell you all about it, all I know about it, if you have never tried it. Why? Because I feel that I can be helpful, and people love to be helpful, and you do too. When people ask you something that you know really well, it's like, can I have your advice on this and this? Look, sure. And you feel good about giving advice to that person, because you know you're confident in that area. If two people have the void in the same area, usually it's not going to last very long, because you both don't know how to fill the void. You both have the void, and it's like, well, what are we going to do about the void? I don't know, and I don't know too. Imbalance and balance. When things are in balance, it's not necessarily 50-50, and there was an email today asking about the balance. Is it 50-50? Balance is not 50-50. Imagine the scales, right? Just like this. If you put a balloon, it's large, yet it's very light on this side, and you put a teaspoon of salt on this side. It looks smaller, but it is probably heavier than the balloon, right? The same in life. Things can take up different amounts of time, different amounts of space, yet they weigh less than things that are important but very small. So, let's say your life is divided into work, hobbies, looking after your body, looking after your family or your partner, or looking for a partner, and cooking, and maybe riding a bicycle as well, and seeing your friends and looking after your parents. You can give different weight to all these areas, but they have to be balanced. If this is 5% and that is 15, and this is 2, it can only be 2%, but it must be filled. If it stays empty, if you're not doing anything about it because it's a small area, you will likely feel imbalance in a certain amount of time. To summarize this, to keep it not too long today, I would like to say that there's good news. If you have imbalance, if you have the void, and we all do, you just have to identify. The good news part is that other people have something to fill that void, because it is their strong area. Rely on your intuition, on your gut feeling, on your analytical ability altogether, and you will see through that person. And that person does not have to be necessarily a beautiful woman who you can become a couple with. It can be a mentor, it can be an older or a younger person, it can be a good example at work, it can be somebody you admire but not necessarily know personally. You can learn from them, and that can fill the void that was there. So open up your eyes, your ears, and all your senses to feel what is that's missing, and what is going to bring you balance into your life. And nothing feels better than the balance, when you know that you're okay here and every area of your life is well taken care of by you and by other people, perhaps. People, remember, I repeat, people love it when you ask them about what they know well and what they do well. And you do too, no exceptions. So find those people, find the people who have strength to fill your void. This is from me today on the 6th day of fasting, feeling great, and might go for longer than 7 days. Otherwise tomorrow would be the last day, but I'm still feeling really, really good, so even better than before. I wouldn't want to end the fast because it's something that brings me pleasure. Strange girl, yes, difficult to understand, but hey, we all have our own crazy things about us, things that we like and things that others might not be able to understand. Okay, see you tomorrow.